everyone, it's Okay here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Like and subscribe, that's what the YouTubers say. So like and subscribe. This is another episode of meal prep. I honestly, if I'm being completely honest, I do not feel like cooking this week. I do not feel like cooking, but I have to do it. So this is me just showing you guys what I would typically do when I don't feel like cooking. Usually I shop on Fridays. I have not even shopped for this week, but last week I made stew, so we still have a little bit of stew, but there's no meat. There's no more meat left inside the stew. So my hack is use the stew that you have, roast fresh meat to mix things up. So what I'm roasting as my meat for this week is turkey, and I'm going to be showing you guys where I buy, what I buy, and all of that jazz. So I'm doing turkey. I'm also doing a FRYER, which is a Yoruba style vegetable egusi soup. So the main difference between egusi soup and a FRYER is that a FRYER has a lot more vegetable component to it than the traditional egusi soup. So traditional egusi soup sometimes just like a sprinkle of like vegetables, you know, just to give it color. This one is like super high in vegetable, so I'm going to be using a mix of frozen and fresh vegetables. I'm using primarily spinach. I also have tete in the freezer. I also have a fogbagba or a foibo, which is garden egg leaves, in the freezer. So I might do like a bit of a mix, but primarily I'm going to be using spinach. So that's all I'm cooking this week. I'm roasting turkey and then I'm making a FRYER. Super simple, super easy. We're going to use the rest of the stew that we have in white rice, spaghetti, pasta for the kids, and we're just gonna manage that. So here is the turkey that I typically buy. I buy a full box of the turkey. You guys, let me tell you what my favorite wedding present was for my wedding. How many years ago now? 9? 9 years ago. So it's this. It's my knife sharpener. My absolute biggest pet peeve in the kitchen is using door knives. Like I cannot stand door knives. Like no, I can't do it. I love to work with like super sharp knives, and this is my absolute favorite thing ever. Like forget my gadgets, forget my blender, this little thing here, my absolute favorite thing, and I use it to like sharpen all my knives. I've been using it now, like I said, for about 9 years. If you do not have a good quality knife sharpener in your kitchen, you must have. I will link to it somewhere. If I can find it online, I'll provide the link, but definitely. And it's so easy to use. You just go in when you need to sharpen, just like that. Easy peasy. Now you have a knife that is sharp and ready to use. So let's get into cutting the turkey. I'll show you guys what the box looks like inside. So just like that, I'll take this off and then open it like so. So it comes wrapped like this, and I've been defrosting this one since yesterday, so it should be nice and defrosted and ready to go. It comes in a bag like that, and this is what you have in the bag. It's like just frozen turkey. Again, like I said, this has been defrosted, so it's well defrosted, and each piece looks like this. So it's like a full wing, and then I'm just going to be cutting it into sections. So I'm going to cut it here, and then I'm going to take this piece off. This piece I used to throw away. Now I roast it. It's super flavorful. It's full of fat, really delicious. But you can also use it for broth. Like I used to throw it away, but my mother-in-law came visiting, I think a year or two ago, and she said, no, just cook it this way, and I've been cooking it ever since then. So I'm just going to cut it. Here you find that there's a super sweet spot here to cut it. You find that, and then you just go down like so. Now you have the two pieces separated, and then this part needs a little bit of effort, but once you find your center and you just go down like that, and then you can just cut it like so. So now you have your 1, 2 and a half and a quarter piece, and that's it. So I'll do that for the entire box. I just keep going and cutting it as I go. A good question for me to ask you guys at this point is, do you wash your meat? I actually did an interview this summer for a magazine. I'll share it when the magazine is out. They were asking about meat cutting, and they were just wondering, do I cut my meat? Do I not cut my meat? Why? And honestly speaking, I feel like, you know, the sciencey bit is you don't need to cut your meat because you're just spreading germs and bacteria all over your kitchen. But a lot of people, especially ethnic people, are not washing meat because they're trying to get rid of bacteria. Meat treatment, especially if you buy meat from like open market, meat that has been sitting out, you definitely want to cut it. It's not coming from like a supermarket shelf. You want to cut it and make sure that, you know, everything is clean and proper. And a secondary reason is that you are for the most part, like dealing with meat that has bone in it. And when you cut meat on the bone, sometimes there's like little pieces of meat that's like falling off and you're trying to get rid of. So you definitely need to clean meat. So I think if you're not an ethnic person and you see ethnic people cutting meat, don't correct them. And you see ethnic people washing meat, don't correct them and say, oh, you're not supposed to cut your meat, you're just spreading bacteria. People are not just, you're not supposed to wash. Why do I say keep saying cut it instead of wash it? You know, you're not supposed to wash your meat, you're just spreading around bacteria. People are not just washing their meat because they're trying to get rid of bacteria. People wash your meat because they're trying to get rid of bones, they're trying to get rid of debris, they're trying to get rid of like small pieces of meat and bone that, you know, they don't want to get into like the stew or the sauce or whatever it is. So let people wash their meat. Thank you. That's my TED talk. Okay, so this is what the whole lot looks like. Now I'm just going to give it a rinse and then remove as much water as possible for my rinsing process. Then I'm going to season it. I have a turkey blend paste that I typically would use to season turkey. I grow most of the herbs that I use in that blend, so I typically would make like a couple jars at the end of like summer, and then I keep it in the fridge, and that will last me until like the next spring when I can get more herbs. But that's what I'm going to be using. I'm also going to add salt and Maggi, but I'm just using that paste with salt and Maggi, and that's going to be that. I'm going to marinate this overnight and then roast it tomorrow. So that's it. It's cut, washed, seasoned. Now it's going to go in the fridge until tomorrow to roast it. So I think that's going to be about maybe like 16 hours of marinating, which is good. I think anything over 8 hours is really, really good time for marinating. A tip that I have, if you have a short time between the time you're seasoning meat and the time you have to roast it, add something acidic. So a little bit of lemon juice or some vinegar will help the seasoning go in faster, and you know, you're able to get that flavor in a lot faster than waiting. Does that make sense? Okay, see you guys.
And then I got sick. I got really sick. So my husband is actually doing the roasting part of this. I am like in the background somewhere. Anyways, you don't want to crowd the air fryer. Don't be tempted to put as much as possible. I would do about 4 to 5 full pieces in each one, and this will ensure that it cooks thoroughly and it cooks super fast. So once you have your meat in your air fryer, you can see I didn't boil it first. You don't have to boil it first. All you want to do is close it, turn it on, choose the air fry function. And remember, because it's not cooked, you want to start at a lower temperature. So instead of doing 390, I typically would do 375, and then I will roast for about 25 to 30 minutes. But then again, I do everything in timed sections. That way I can kind of adjust my timing as I go. But yeah, you just want to start it, roast. Definitely check on it at every like about 10-minute mark. Like you want to move it around just so you roast evenly, and then you keep doing that until all of the turkey is roasted. So it should look something like this when it is roasted. Oh, so delicious. I love roasted turkey, especially in this my green sauce. It's so delicious. But yeah, that is that, guys. So I'm just going to keep roasting until the entire box of turkey is roasted, which takes a bit of time. But it's definitely what I remember. My husband was asking me, well, then why use the air fryer? Because you can just put everything on one oven tray and you'll be able to like roast everything at once. But I think the air fryer just roasts. It's a lot more crispy. It's a lot like the taste is a taste difference between air fryer and oven for sure. And I think it's just that air circulation. And look, I didn't add any oil in the roasting process, but look at all the oil that came out of the turkey. This is another reason why you should get air fryer if you do not have one. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Bye bye. Enjoy your turkey.